Hello, everybody. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. How much more pain? I think a lot. Do Californians need to experience, and other blue states need to experience before they rise up against the political class, right? So we're seeing in California the exposure on a massive level. We've seen directed energy weapons used in Paradise Fire, Malibu fires back in Coral fires back in I think it was 2007, where homes were systematically destroyed. I remember there was like the fire supposedly leapt across a highway. Right, it was burned some houses, burned some grasses, and then like everybody was stopped on the freeway, and it went across like two cars and fried the cars and the people in them, and then continued up. And you can see where it burned the grass and continued on. And so that was a long time ago, like what, 20, almost 20 years ago. Well, almost 20 years ago. So this is not anything new. Paradise fires, well over a decade ago. Lahaina fires, very similar directed energy weapon use. And then, of course, the more recent Paradise Malibu fires. Right. So it's a pattern where it continues. And until you take control of the enemy and do away with the enemy from killing you and destroying your homes, kind of like what's going on right now in Ireland, right, in Dublin, right? So they were like, this is enough. We have, had a guy who's getting his head sawed off in the streets by a legal immigrant. And so that was enough. They had 3 little girls that were stabbed between the 3 of them 200 times. And you have the political class saying they have been throwing people in jail because they shared information or protested online to what the political class had thrust upon them. Just like we're seeing the political class in California and other blue cities, or blue states are, pushing their ideals, communism and so forth, onto the populace. And at what point does the populace say that's it? Like we're seeing in Dublin, where they went in, they burned the homes and they burned the cars of illegal immigrants, right? And that is happening across the UK. I've heard reports and I've seen reports of where, like I said, this was coming. There will be blood in the streets, and you will see people hanging from light poles, and that's happening, right? And now the political class is really starting to say we're gonna press down on this. I think they're next. I've said this, right? I've said this for quite some time, and you can't vote them out like we're seeing in California and other blue states. They have a system where they legally and lawfully can create and commit fraud. So they've used the system against us to keep themselves in the system. And they're there to allow these other things to happen, the destruction of our cities, our children that are basically, transgendered and go through these horrible surgeries. They're, destroying the families, across America in many cities and across the world, really. So this is something, Belfast in Ireland. So this is something that's going to continue, and it's going to pick up speed. Right? Because the political class are holding even tighter to their control. So that's going to infuriate the populace. Now, what is it going to take in California? California's had, like decades now of directed energy weapons, basically destroying their homes, killing people and so forth. And Californians still haven't reacted to that. Right? More recently, in the Paradise Malibu fires, you've had some people that are a little bit further up the scale as far as like, money wise and power wise and so forth, and influence wise. And so they have started to push back. But up till now, you have had no pushback. Now, President Trump has pushed back, and he says that, the reason he has put, one of the reasons why Steve Hilton is now, considered to be one of the top two, which I can't understand that. There's still over 300,000 votes that are still out there. He could easily be pushed down further, which he's already been pushed down into second place. President Trump said, he backed Steve Hilton. He did not back Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt didn't want his backing. And so maybe that's why he didn't, survive the assault. Now, he has kind of put out there that there's been a sting operation. Now, I said this yesterday. I believe that the California election fraud reveal, is part of a massive sting operation that's going to transpire and go across all the other blue states, right? And blue cities that are in red states, right? So it is very interesting to see this now. All these fires. I've had guests on. We've talked about these fires. We put this information out. You think at this point, people would have already been hauled into the streets and done away with, right? I don't want that. I think that's crazy, but crazy time's coming, right? How much more pain does California have to go through before they start to get serious, right? So I think a lot more. Right? Because and the way I judge this is when I make comments like this, and Californians get, case of the ass about it, right? They attack me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just pointing this stuff out, and hopefully it's to help wake you up. But it is not happening. So, I've been involved. I have these abilities, and I have been involved in, stopping out stuff, sending energy to people to take them out of positions of power. I've done that quite often. But there comes a time where the people that, receive those benefits don't appreciate them, right? And that's California. So how much more pain? Right? I think a lot. So we're seeing weather starting to come into California. I predicted before this new year, I predicted that California would burn again, right? California is going to burn, and it will be through directed energy weapon use again. We will probably see, like we saw in Paradise, homes that are burned again. So it's a pattern. They've been getting away with it, and if they continue to get away with it, they're going to continue to do it. Hello, so California had the opportunity. If they would have risen up. Now, I've seen people that have gone into the streets and they wear the MAGA hats and they said, Karen Bass is bad, all kind of crazy stuff. Vote for Spencer Pratt. And Californians would go by and give them the big middle finger, and say F you and all kind of stuff. They're going to have more pain, guys. California is going to have more pain, right? So it is what it is. We've been trying to help them awaken for decades now, and they have chosen not to wake up. So they're going to get what they're going to get. All right. Now, still people are going to try and help them. They're not going to be completely abandoned. I think that, we're going to see some different things that are happening. So we'll continue to share and try and do the best that we can. But at some point, people are going to have to really, really get involved. And I have not seen that for decades now.
Show you this, President Trump alluded to the fact that you're not going to believe how crooked the 2020 election was. Trump says a full file about the theft of the 2020 election is going to come out. He went on to say it's worse than any of us can imagine. I know you're out in California right now. with the election abnormalities and rigging that's going on out there. But before we get into LA and California, what do you think when President Trump says there's a full file that's about to come out? Do you think that's something that Tulsi Gabbard has been putting together and they are going to release before the midterm election? Or what do you think he's alluding to?
There are people in the White House and outside the White House who have been working to put together these files. Okay, and the files are going to be extensive. There's millions of us. Yeah, well, it's all a lie. A small group of people are going to steal the money, promising utopia to the others who believe they're going to get it. And for a while, the criminals protect those who are forces of destruction, destroy the family, mutilate the children, have euthanasia for the old after they're depressed, give them drugs that depress them, make them available easily through opioids, and fentanyl, kill the ones who are going to be on drugs, get them in the streets to destroy the cities. And you've got a consciously designed destruction, which is the prelude to the system collapse.
All right. So we're near system collapse in California, which I've been saying is coming. Consciousness does have an effect. You can, change things. You can, change some people, right? Through consciousness. And you can, I love Stephen Gardner's channel as well. Yeah, he's really good. Because there's a lot of us out here that are trying to wake people up, and we bring on really great guests. I'm going to have a couple really nice guests tomorrow. You want to be around at 1 and 3 for the guests I have coming. I don't like to say who these high speed guests are that come on sometimes, because there are forces that try and interject. All right. So when you see a lot of my guests, they just come on. Right. So some people are out there, they're like, advertise them. I don't know why I get so suppressed. Right? So I do know why, because I really am helping people wake up on a massive scale, although not at the level that I would like to see. Now, Paradise Fires, we've talked about them. We've had lots of experts come in and talk about how these were anomalous, where you have homes that are burned down to nothing. These are not normal fires, because you see, all next to these homes, the trees are still there. So the outside fuel source that normally comes in through forest fires and so forth are grass fires that cross a highway and burn to crisp cars and people in them. So when you have, these different fires like that, anomalous, where metals are like melting in cars, and again, there's trees all around. This was Paradise. There's trees all around these homes, and there's other homes. So you'll get a whole neighborhood like this is taken down to ash, and just over here there's a home that's not been touched, and that wasn't advertised through the press, because the press is part of the problem. All right, they're part of the system to suppress this information and to push the lies and the malfeasance that is happening. They're suppressing it, right? So houses with blue roofs spared. Yes, it happened in some areas, absolutely, because of the color. When the lasers come in, I guess that's a particular color that it doesn't, it's not activated in that color range. So it just basically shuts down the frequency of that laser. So yes, the blue homes, blue roofs and so forth, those homes survived. So now President Trump, during those fires, posted, "There is no reason for these massive, deadly, and costly forest fires in California, except that forest management is so poor." So there's multiple functions of why they do these fires. They come in and they take out neighborhoods that are targeted for some reason. I don't know. They have people within these neighborhoods that can't fight back. They didn't count on Spencer Pratt, I guess. But most of the time, people just take it and keep going, right? You have a very, very few percentage of the population, the 1%ers like myself, and perhaps you people that are watching. Thank you very much. I love your comments. Sometimes I'm like, am I wasting my time? And then I look at the comments, I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. All right. So thank you. All right. So so he goes on to say, President Trump goes on to say, billions of dollars are given each year by the federal government, with so many lives lost, all because of gross mismanagement of the forest, because they make money on this. So they have these forest fighters and so forth that come in, and they make billions fighting these fires. So that's why you see every year, year after year after year after year, these fires keep popping up. And not just California, all across the country. We're going to see massive fires across the country this year, right? Not just California. No. There will be drought and fires. I said there'll be drought in the middle of the country. I said it last year, well before the beginning of this year. And then we will see rain. So they'll burn the hell out of us and then flood us, right? So, and I think California is going to get some serious earthquake activity. Domino effect earthquake fault zones going off. They're going to be so massive. And I just know that I'm going to be feeling it here where I'm at in Lake Tahoe. The ground is going to shake, right? Bigly, right? It's already happened once. And right down a little past Reno, near Fallon, Nevada, where they have the Naval Air Station, right? So in that area, there's been a lot of earthquakes, over 500, I think 540 quakes. So the biggest one, I think it was like a 5.5, 5.2, something like that. It shook this house that I'm in here, Lake Tahoe. So I think it's like, as a crow flies, maybe about 85 miles from that area. So it's a good shaker. We just saw a big shaker that happened in Cuba that shook all the way over into Miami. So they thought they had another earthquake in Florida, but no, it was that shaker, because Florida is just a big coral reef that's risen up and some trees grew on it, right? So so it's easy to shake that whole state, right? And that's what we just saw. So 6.1, the last time they had an earthquake of that size, 150 plus years ago, and it was a 6.0. So this was bigger, 6.1, just a little, but a little bit sometimes can make a huge difference. So we've seen these earth change activities. Some places it's going to be not as intense. We see biblical references where the Lord is saying, go to the mountains. Where am I? All right. So there is, potential in the near term, I believe, for some serious shaking. And I think that consciousness does have an effect on that. Consciousness has an effect on storms, everything. There was a time where we had an earthquake, and I was involved with a group that basically was into the earth energies and so forth. And it was put out that there was a huge earthquake in Peru, and that same earthquake size had caused a very significant tsunami in Hawaii. So same place, same earthquake size. And so there was it takes a long time, hours and hours and hours, for these energies to travel, through the ocean. And so back in, I don't know how long ago, it was like 50s or 60s or something like that, there was a pretty significant tsunami that killed a lot of people in Hawaii. So the Earthkeeper group, basically, we got together, we got the notice, because there was those of us that were involved in, calming these earth energies when they were, shake, rattle, and roll like that. And I remember putting my consciousness in the waves and calming the waves. I could see the energy. It was going to make a massive tsunami when it hit Hawaii. and I just calmed it, and so it made just a little bit of a little wave, very small wave, when it came to Hawaii. So consciousness can have an effect on calming and consciousness and the deep state, which we know that they have been, manipulating these earth energies and earth, movements and earthquakes and volcanoes and all that kind of stuff. We know they've been doing that. They would definitely do that here in California, right? So I believe California is really going to get hammered, right? So same consciousness. I predicted a lot of earthquakes to the day, almost to the size, almost perfect, that have happened here in California. I believe there's going to be a massive one in California, and that's mainly because of the consciousness of California, right? So so he said all these billions of dollars have been wasted on California because they don't do anything with it. And then a California Professional Firefighters president, Brian K. Rice, bad man, labeled Trump's message an attack on some of the people fighting the devastating fires and make a lot of money. So don't come after our money. Don't come after our money. Trump even said that he would take Mount Shasta Dam and raise it several feet, and the federal government would pay for it. And Gavin Newsom said, no. You kidding me? He said no. So it would help preserve, during times of drought, the water, because California goes through drought. California went through 20 years of drought. Now, 6, maybe 7 years ago, I remember when I first came to South Lake Tahoe, there was severe drought. The water level in Lake Tahoe was super low. And so Mike shows up and there's a record snowfall. How about that? And it filled up Lake Tahoe. It's 5:55 right now. So, I would call in rain during the years while I lived in Lake Tahoe. And people would complain because they're like, oh, you're bringing in the rain. It's always sunny during this time frame. And I'm like, it's going to burn if I don't bring in the rain. Help me out. California, you're going to burn. You're going to burn. In fact, when I left Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, there was a massive fire and they actually evacuated South Lake Tahoe after a month or two after I left. Imagine that. So now that I'm back in, the vicinity of California, 20 years of drought has ended, right? So consciousness can have an effect, guys. I've been showing this. I've been proving this for decades now, through my courses, through my books, through these conversations that I have with you. So California is going to burn because the consciousness is really bad, right? And it's not something that you guys that are beautiful people. California used to be the people of California used to be so beautiful, right? There were no devastating fires. There'd be some fires occasionally, but that's always happens. The brush, it rains and the brush, gets up there, and California doesn't do the right thing and, clear the brush. So because environmentalists are like, it has to be natural all the time. Stupid people, right? And people, California, oh yeah, the environmentalists, they're cuckoo, but hey, it's cool. Let's go surf, right? Let's go to the beach and get some suntan and swim and body surf. That's what I used to do, body surf. I love body surf. So it is something that California has gone slowly downhill, right? And that's it. Consciousness, of course, can turn around on a dime. Will something spark Californians to get over their me attitude and start to work together to overcome this stuff? I don't know. People of Ireland, they work together now, right? They're creating a movement that's probably going to spread around the world. And who knows, maybe California catch a little bit of that. I hope so. But we have some very, very bad people out there. So Brian Rice goes on to say, in my view, This shameful attack on California is an attack on all our courageous men and women on the front lines. You're going to burn, California. You're going to burn. All right. So let's look at some of the burn. There's been people reporting the burn, and people haven't been paying attention on high enough numbers. So let's try again. Let's try again. Let's see how many views we get on this one. Probably not a lot, because I talked a little bit about this yesterday in my video from yesterday. Didn't get a lot of views.
Disturbing video is causing uproar.
Everybody here is dead.
Greg Woodcox led a caravan of friends out of the fire zone in the town of Paradise, but they were overtaken by the flames and caught in a death trap.
They were overtaken by the flames. Sounds like Lahaina, remember? They were right on that road that was right on the water. There was nothing there. The police stopped them on orders from the sheriff who was in that shooting in Las Vegas. And then months before Lahaina, he gets transferred to Lahaina. And the woman that had been there for like 20 plus years that was handling all of the information and, you know, personnel files and so forth, she ends up crashing into a tree and dies. Wow. So we see this method that they have over and over again, where they come in and they destroy an area, they kill the people there, they cover up their crimes, they cover up the number of deaths, they cover up the fact that people are fried from the inside like microwaves. Cook food in a microwave, it cooks from the inside out. Flames burn you from the outside in. All right. It's simple. It's simple observational skills. So this fortunate gentleman was like, they're I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know what's going on. And he probably doesn't know that some people were doing it. But these flames are like just crazy how they're catching up to us, and we're flying down the road. So their cars started getting toasted. So he jumps out and runs to a stream. And he says the fire like whoosh over him. And he comes back and all his friends are gone.
I'm so lucky to be alive. I went down the canyon into a creek. It came over me and I thought I was going to die.
When he returned to the scene, he found his truck, which he fled from as flames closed in, and he found that not one of his friends had made it.
There's a bunch of dead bodies here. We got trapped. Oh, nobody made it down here.
We won't show you the most harrowing moments, but they are causing outrage on social media. So insensitive, those one typical comments.
So again, now who was saying outraged on this truth, this horrific incident of where these people were caught in a directed injury weapon attack? Interesting how his vehicle, because it was not touched, but these other vehicles were crispified, and the people in them were burnt to a crisp, to almost ashes, right? And I'm going to show you some of this from Lahaina. So, you know, only 812 people watching right now. People just don't care. It's like, I've seen all this. I don't care. I don't care. Right? It doesn't affect me.
But others are defending the video, including one firefighter who says this is what the public needs to see. The video was posted by Greg Woodcox's nephew. He spoke with our Jim Murray.
Why did you post it? I know a lot of people are really up in arms. They say you shouldn't have posted that.
Right. No, I've gotten a lot of flack because of that. And I was weighing the good with the bad. And he wanted it out there because he wanted it to be like a warning to anybody that doesn't listen to these evacuation orders.
All right. So, I mean, that's the way to listen to the evacuation orders, right? Run for your life. Go jump in the stream, right? Yeah. So I know some of you care. Many of us care, yeah. But probably not the people that should be, right? Obviously. So you've had these fires in California like this for 20 years, guys. So obviously people aren't paying attention or caring enough to make a difference. If this happened to you, if this happened to my peeps, my family, my time in the military would come in handy, right? My abilities would come in handy. My ability to be like a ghost and appear and people go bye-bye would come in handy, right? So that's not happening in California. People aren't rising up. People aren't rising up. You're going to have to rise up. Otherwise, it's going to continue. That's obvious because it's been going on for decades, right? So, well, better luck next time. We'll elect somebody that will make a difference. California is pretty much all completely blue, right? So the criminals have completely taken over California. There's only one way. It's only one way. And a lot of people are like, the military is the only way. And maybe the military will get involved. I would hope so. Otherwise, Jaco the Firewalker, I have walked over coals. Yes. And been around fire. So, I'm like the wild horse ranch guy, with the wild horses. We have the solution. Get rid of, my solution is get rid of the politicians that are, allowing this. They're not the ones doing it, of course, but they're allowing the criminals that have the capabilities of doing these to do this, right? So now the wild horse ranch guy, William, is basically, we can, go in and, have these wild horses come in, and there's nothing that the fires will not happen because they've taken out all the fuel, right? So, and of course, everybody's like, oh, look, wild horses. So they come and take pictures. Everybody loves it. Not happening. I do those shows with him, and they don't get a lot of views. Now, you guys over on Rumble, you guys are getting, I'm getting more views on Rumble than I am on YouTube. It's insane. It's because I don't know. I guess here on YouTube it's suppressed or something, or there's just not the audience over here on YouTube. I don't know. So new FBI is in LA, California. That's good. Janet, Janet, you live in Northern California. So that's a little bit better area than Southern California. So I know you are very active and with your community. So that's good. So Lahaina, let's look at Lahaina. So I'm going to have to start to push through this pretty quick because I got to have a conversation that I'm going to have pretty soon with some people that are going to do shows with that are going to give us some options to overcome stupid thinking, right? There are some very, very interesting techniques to overcome that, right? And you guys are going to love what I'm going to bring up. So here we have Lahaina. So as you see, same thing as Paradise. You're going to see there's a blue roof, right? And you're going to see these fires basically jump around. Some homes won't be affected, and some will. Some will be burnt to a complete crisp, which is impossible. You have all the fuel out here that's not affected, but right next to it, it's down to concrete, right? So you're talking porcelain. Where's the washing machine? Where's the dishwasher? Where's the porcelain countertops, the porcelain commodes, and so forth? Those burn at a much higher rate than any home fire in history has ever burned, guys. So it's obviously something else that's burning everything to a crisp. Hello, come on. This is not that hard. This is not that hard to figure out. And here, do you see any bodies? You see any bodies? Look, this is along a wall. This is a road. The trees are still there. And all these people along this road that the police would not let escape, they blocked the road off. All of these people died. Some of them jumped into the water, and some of them in the water were fried in the water. This is not rocket science here. Come on. How many times have I done these shows over the years? A lot. A lot. All right. So we got the Great Maui land grab that Michelle and I have done. I've done many shows with her where she's talked about this, and she talked about the political class there, very similar to what's going on in California. Same political class, same corrupt political class, right? Now, this is a dog. As you guys see, it's crispified. So again, a wildfire burns everything from the outside in. The hair, skin, and clothing are burned first. Bodies are left unrecognizable except for their bones and teeth if they don't burn to ash. However, here are 3 images of burned victims in the Lahaina fire who are completely recognizable. So here's a dog. First victim is a dog with his legs out as if he had been running on concrete on a road there. He's running and he gets hit by the directed energy weapon and fries from the inside out. His fur is still there. His snout, his everything is recognizable on the outside. But on the inside, like this frog that was leaping. This is a frog that was leaping. Its skin is completely still there, but everything inside, just like microwave to ash, is gone. The frog was leaping in the air, and the directed energy weapon hit him, and boom, inside gone, outside frozen in time for everybody to see. This is not that hard. This is a man that was running from the directed energy weapon that he saw that was like frying everything probably, but he didn't get away. All right, so here you have I think it was called cornrows here, and that's still there. So the outside is still there, still recognizable as a human being that was running, and there's another one over here there's totally unrecognizable. I mean, barely can see the outlines of the legs, but the upper torso is still there. See how there's bone right here that's sticking out? He was fried from the inside out. Here's a man that was running. His britches were burned off. That's why he had this dot here over his private parts. This whole side right here is fried. His arm is gone. It's almost, well, it's actually up in the air. You see it right there. His ribs are showing on this side. Look at the other side. This is his clothing. It's not burned. Just one side that's where the directed energy weapon like zapped over him and completely fried that area. All right, so we've shown this stuff before. I've shown this stuff before. How many more times? How many more times do we have to like show this horror? How many more horror stories do we're going to have to like show? California? More. It's going to be more. All right, Paradise. Let's look at Paradise. Oh, we already looked at it, but let's look at this one. And this is Maui. This is another Maui time frame, 2007. Here's Paradise, where, like I showed before, here's Maui, Malibu, or Malibu, not Maui. The homes right along the coast, fried, as you see here. Just fried. The other side, fine. They got the road separating it, the bee separating it, and the laser just went right up through there, right? And fried everything. Hello. write it all the way down to nothingness. All right, so that's a little bit of paradise and a little bit of Malibu just recently. Now let's look at the Coral Fire. This is back in 2007, kind of the same thing. I'm just going to real quick show this, but like I said, this has been going on for 20 years now, right? Probably more than 20 years. 20 years that I've been reporting on it and showing this information and watching it and going, that's directed energy weapons. I know, because we have those weapons in the military. So same thing, foliage, burned out cars, burned out homes completely. And it doesn't happen naturally. This doesn't happen naturally. The foliage is like the fuel. And if there are, some pieces of ember or whatever that come on and start these house fires, which does happen for real, then you're not going to see a house fire burn all the way down to nothingness. You have a little bit of metal left, warped from the heat of the directed energy weapon. All right, so it's insane. All right, so there are possibly have been saviors like Donald Trump. It's like, how dare he, come in and say bad things that, we could actually do something about this. We could do nothing about that. All right, thank you. Jesse, good job. Ex-firefighter here. That shit is not, in OT in capital letters, not normal. Thank you for you firefighters to stand. I know it's tough for you guys too. You get criticized, you get everything destroyed if you speak out. Maybe you're retired, so you can, like me, you can speak out. I don't know, but it's a problem. Now Spencer Pratt, he's not a screen star anymore. People still look at him favorably, even though he was a bad guy. They say, oh, he's just a bad guy in a sitcom, and they kept playing that. They all had the same narrative. When they all had the same narrative, they're having their strings pulled, right? They're being puppeted. Spencer Pratt's cryptic duck post. Does it mean calm above water, but I'm paddling furiously below? Maybe. Now, I haven't seen this interpretation, but for me, it's like you're a sitting duck and I'm going to blow you away, right? That's my interpretation, but, maybe that's what it is. The duck metaphor takes flight. The most common reading of Pratt's post aligns with a classic adage, be like a duck, calm and unruffled. Bullshit. Be like a Mike and be a fighter and speak out and say bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. You, baddie, right? You need to go bye-bye. That's Mike's. That's not be like duck, F that. All right. Be like they are sitting ducks and they're going to get blown away. That's what I'm looking at. All right. That's Mike's interpretation. But of course, that's California news. They dumb it down. All right. So here we go with the election results. They're not so good. We know that they stole it from Spencer Pratt already. So that's why he's pretty animated right now. And he did an excellent video, which I'm going to show with you guys. All right, so here you have Spencer Pratt has had it stolen. He probably was actually number one right from the beginning. So he got 99%. Now President Trump says he's leaned on them really hard, and that's why they've picked up the pace. All right, and the reason why we see the governor, so you see 2 check marks right there with the governors. So they're like, all right, we get, now remember Steve Hilton in the beginning was on top. And Xavier, he came from all the way behind, like 6 weeks ago, he was 4% in polling. And then he goes all the way to the top. How about that? They've just done another recent polling where Xavier is much higher than Steve Hilton. We know the Democrats give us bullshit polling too. Remember, Hillary Clinton was going to win by a landslide, and she lost. So Tom Steyer, oh my God, they really knocked these down. There was like 300,000 just a little while ago. So it was, or 600,000 like yesterday, 300,000 a little while ago. Now it's only 164. So President Trump came in and said, yep, because I basically leaned on them. They hurried up the counting, and Steve Hilton didn't get it stolen. All right. That's President Trump. He's amazing. All right. So, but I can tell you that if in the unlikely event that he does win the next election, the election in midterms for mayor, or not mayor, for governor, he will have the Democrat system lean on him so much he will get nothing done, just like President Trump in his first term, pretty much. All right. So Spencer Pratt, has got all this stuff going on. He's been playing low key, but not so much now. So this just recently came out. Spencer Pratt drops bombshell video. You guys are going to like this. I liked it. I'm like, what? All right. What I've been expecting, I think, is about to happen.
Campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close, and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase. Listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall.
It's just not fair.
Hey, morons, I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nikki, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the out of the race.
I want to be lighting you up every single day, and now I don't have to worry about offending CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles. Angelinos are now stuck with two morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between dumb and dumber. That's not a choice. That's the machine protecting the machine. And now every problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these two corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it. You have no idea how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice, graffiti over every square inch of public space, garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns, abandoned storefronts. This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonist who torched a place with 4 more years of destruction.
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades, all the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools, all the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was going to stop me? If you want to stop me,
You're gonna have to kill me!
Love it. Love it. All right. There's some 1%ers out there that are willing to speak out. And looks like hell's coming. Hell's coming for these people. All right. So you're getting close here. So let's see what Tulsi has to say about bioweapon labs. So she was, criticized for coming out with this a long time ago. And she was called a traitor. And traitors should be, taken out. So we're going to see, I think, a lot of traitors get taken out. She's obviously not one of them, but we'll see.
Through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of longstanding U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries. Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a U.S.-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to longstanding threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these U.S. government-funded biolabs are currently or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research with very little visibility or oversight. Now, President Trump clearly understands the serious threat dangerous gain-of-function research poses to the American people. And this is why he took decisive action over a year ago. On May 25th, 2025, he signed an executive.
Now, don't you think this is very interesting that this is coming out now? When this other bioweapon was released on us, COVID, quite a while ago, 5 years ago, it's like just time flies, doesn't it? I said that this will be the beginning. There will be something much worse. So now we have the exposure of these biolabs before Tulsi Gabbard leaves office. So that's very interesting, isn't it? So more exposure, more of this deep state activity is being exposed on a daily basis across the board. Does it mean that everything's going to be hunky-dory going forward? Unfortunately, no. Right. So I know a lot of you guys out there are counting on the Sarge happening very quickly. How long have you been waiting now? 5, 6 years, right? Seniors Group says new Social Security report should be a wake-up call for Congress. They're saying that tens of millions of Americans in retirement could funding that could run out by 2032. Now, they've said this before in the past. We know that COVID, remember, where did COVID start in the United States? It started in a nursing home in Seattle. We know that seniors have been targeted in New York, where it seemed to pop up over there magically. And the governor at that time pushed seniors that were sick into nursing homes, and thousands of seniors died, right? So we know that they've been trying to take out the seniors so they don't have to pay them. Work your whole life and, you get a little pittance of income when you retire. Yeah, we're going to take that too. And we're going to take you so we don't have to pay it. So this is their intent, guys. Noting that around 70 million people rely on Social Security, the AARP had said that cutting Social Security or Medicare is not an option. This is money Americans have earned over a lifetime of hard work. Well, I can tell you, 35 years working in the military at the highest levels as a Navy SEAL, and all the way up to SEAL Team 6, Tier 1, then getting out and working in the CIA at the very highest levels, protecting, case officers, tracking down terrorists that were a threat to not only America, but the rest of the world. Being involved in that for 35 years. And what did I get for that? They destroyed my life. and they tried to kill me many times. So you think they're going to, like, go out of the way for you? Not at all, guys. All right. We have to take this system down. We, not waiting for somebody else to do it. We can support somebody that wants to help us take it down, like President Trump and team. But if we don't get involved, if we don't get active, we're done. We're done. All right. California. We'll see California. It will be done very soon. All right. All right, guys. That's all I got for right now. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. And we'll see you guys next time.